Hello and welcome to the Friday live stream with Exposure Ninja. My name is Dale Davies and I am the Digital Marketing Manager for Exposure Ninja. And today I'm going to be joined by Wayne. Hello,
Good
Wayne.
afternoon. How are we doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. How's the weather for you?
Amazing. 26 degrees. And I thought that music, the background music and the little countdown was a perfect chilled vibe for a Friday afternoon.
It really is. Do you know what? Before last week, I was trying to get that music to play underneath the stream so we'd hear it throughout, but I couldn't figure out the technical side of things.
I think it would make me too relaxed. I think I would got to keep that high energy. And
yeah, totally. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of high energy, and we're going to put that into some recommendations for some websites submitted today. So if you're new here, welcome to the stream. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below. You'll be able to get notified about every future video and live stream that we do. We do live website reviews every other Friday, and we do live webinars on those Fridays in between, in which we discuss how to increase your traffic, how to increase your sales and your conversions, and basically how to do various parts of digital marketing, including SEO, content marketing, PPC, whatever we can do to help you in your business. As I say, today we're doing live website reviews. Websites have been submitted in advance. If you want to have your website reviewed at any point in time, rather than having to wait until every other Friday, you can go to exposureninja.com/review. So just go up to that thing up there. And you'll be able to request a review. And Wayne and the lovely marketing consultancy team will be able to have a look at your website and send you a 15-minute review outlining exactly what they do to improve your traffic, sales, leads, whatever it is.
And it looks like we've got people from like all over the world today, which is awesome. We've got Fitness Coach on Demand from the UK. We've got Quab, I hope I'm saying your name right, from Germany.
Wow.
We've got Brianna from New York. Hi, Brianna. We've got John Legg from North Wales.
Oh, hey, John. John is a regular. Nice to see you here.
Amazing. This is what we like to see.
We do indeed. Right, so we're going to get cracking with the live reviews. And Wayne, you've got a couple of websites selected from the submissions this week. If you will add that to the screen share, and let's have a look at this website. So this is Robert Welsh.
Absolutely, yeah. So we've been told by Robert Welsh that they're keen to, like most businesses, grow their sales in an effective way. We've had a quick look at the site before we've actually started the live stream, but let's dive in a little bit deeper now. And first of all, Dale, is there anything that you want to say about what we can see on the screen when the site first loads, about the overall look and feel of the site?
Do you know what? I mean, there's some nice looking notes, some nice looking kit. However, I don't know if it's necessarily the first thing I want to see when I load the website. It's tricky with e-commerce. You want to show off your goods, but also you want to direct people directly to what they're looking for.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think it's an interesting approach. I think it's good that you're showcasing some of the products in this slider image. My view is that you'd actually get a much greater engagement level. The website would work much more effectively if you just use this slider space initially to really focus on your messaging. So it looks like you've got this slider image and this text that's there when the site first loads as one of your slider images, but then you're also highlighting individual products as well. Whereas my view would be keep the slider image focused on your brand messaging, on what you're about, on what's making you unique, get people intrigued enough to then keep scrolling down, and then they're going to see the different product sets that you're offering. I think that would be a more effective use of this space. So maybe consider just getting rid of those other two slider images that you've got there at the moment. Something else I've noticed is right now, you've not got any of your contact details or social media icons on display within the header space of the website. And that's something that can actually have quite a big impact on the overall conversion rate and engagement levels, because having your contact details there, it's not just going to allow people to actually contact you more easily, which of course is a good thing, but it's also going to give people that sense of trust in your brand. It's going to let them see that you're not a fly-by-night company, that you're well established, that you're easy to get hold of if they have problems. So I would recommend having your social media icons, your contact details up in the black bar that you've got all of this spare space in. That way people are going to see it as soon as they land on the site. Great that you've got your navigational bar and header space integrated as a sticky header. That's absolutely what we recommend to really make the user experience as good as it can be. At the moment, you've got your email sign-up form too far down the page. Like basically you've got this almost at the very bottom near your footer. That means that statistically less than 5% of people are actually likely to see this. And it's the same with your benefits bar where you're highlighting contact details. Very few people are going to see this. If you're keen to get people onto your email list, what would be much more effective is actually making sure that you've got a pop-up on your site, something that appears when people have been there for a certain amount of time, or even something that appears as people are going to leave the site, that basically says, fill in your details, join our Robert Welch VIP club, get 10% off your first order. Things like that can work really well. Dale, anything else?
Yeah, we've had a few comments in the live chat. It's great to see everybody here today. If you got anything to say that you want to improve in this website, I'd love to know what you would change. I got to agree with John, who commented that he finds sliders annoying, and that matches with what Wayne was saying, that before people really recognize what's on the screen, the slider's already gone, and you're better off just having one sole focus. But there was another comment even from our own ninjas who said that there are some great FIFO reviews at the bottom of the page. They should be right at the top there, and I would love to have those in the USP bar. I think anybody who watches our reviews regularly will see that we're big advocates for USP bars, and there are a couple of things there. You could put that 10% discount for new signups to the newsletter. You can put those reviews. You can put what your delivery USP is. So if you do free delivery because of the high value of some of these products, there's the kind of things you want people to see as soon as they come on the website, and to also see as they scroll down around the website as well. Oh, hello. But yeah, beautiful looking website. Just before I do continue, I'm just going to highlight that we are giving away a copy of How to Get to the Top of Google today. If you want to get a copy of this book, we're giving it away at the end of the stream. All you have to do to get a copy is use the hashtag Ninja along with your comments, and I'll do a draw at the end of the stream. And also, whilst I'm here, do make sure to hit like on this video and help us to kind of make this video reach more business owners and marketing managers like yourselves. Wayne.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think in terms of the first feeling that we get from the website, the things that you could do to boost conversion rate, I think those are really important things. But let's dive in now and actually look at one of your product pages to see where that is at. So really like what you're doing with the product page here. A big thing that we always say to any website owners that we're reviewing, we always advise have your add to cart, add to basket button above the fold so that it's there as soon as the website loads, rather than people having to scroll down to it. And you're doing exactly that right now. You've got the name of the product, the star rating, and the add to basket all above the fold, which is really good to see. And then as we scroll down, we've got really comprehensive product description, product reviews. I actually really like what you're doing here. This is very kind of Amazon-like in your approach. You've got an awful lot being communicated on each individual product page, which I think is really important. And it's great how you've got these broken down with the menu across the top as well. So in terms of the conversion rate you're getting from your product pages, I would expect your conversion rate to be reasonably good here based on what I can see at the moment. Anything that you'd like to add there, Dale?
I just realized I was muted because there was a loud noise outside.
That confused me. I thought I'd broken it or left the room and been just speaking to myself for the last 5 minutes.
I just dropped the best gems I've ever dropped on the live stream as well. Well, never mind. So I was just pointing out that the stuff below the fold is actually like really important as well. Like I know we talk a lot about the first impressions when you're above the fold, and that it's those kind of first few things that people see that help people to convert. But there's also this stuff further down, and there's stuff about like the story of the product as well, which is really interesting. So if you go all the way down to the bottom of the page, I believe there's a video or something. There we go. So designing the Robert Welch way. I'd be really interested to see if we can have that further up the page. So basically, we want to reinforce how strong your brand is. So a lot of the reason that people are coming to your website is because they know the brand. We can kind of cement that brand recognition and do a bit more storytelling and kind of convince people that they are making the right decision by going with Robert Welsh. So, we talk a lot about marketing, but, the brand presence and the story behind it is a big part of it as well. So let's move that up, sure. Tell a longer story about this product, because £110, some people might just not think twice about that and just purchase it straight away, but others might need a bit of convincing, and that history as the brand can really help to be convincing. And as well, go even more detailed on the products. Now, I understand they might not be able to do it with every product, but on the most important products, include even more product photos than you have now. Go into way more detail about the awards that have won, the craftsmanship that goes into all the products that you make. There's a longer story that you can add in here that can be really convincing. That's one kind of thing that stuck out for me. And of course, you got to have all of that cross promotion as well. That if you're buying in this case a carving set, there might be some additional products that you can add on to that sale, so that if they are making the purchase, let's bump it up a bit more and sell them something else at the same time. So I'd be interested, Wayne, if you could try and do an add to cart, or is it add to basket?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that.
Let's see if they do any upselling at the same time, because upselling is a huge opportunity. So this is very similar to the John Lewis website.
It is, isn't it? Incredibly so, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not seeing any upsells.
No.
So what I see on consistently high converting e-commerce sites is you get pitch and upsell or a cross sell at the add to cart stage or at the add to basket stage. So as soon as that pops up and says that's been added to your basket, you can already show somebody a related product, and you can do it by category, or if you know a certain product sells well, you can fine tune it so that that product, whenever it's added to the basket, automatically suggests a knife, sharpening kit, or something like very specific to whichever products are your best selling products. So that would be a good way of getting more revenue from the sales that you're already getting, on top of the other product page improvements, homepage improvements we've suggested so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would really help. And from an SEO standpoint, it looks like things are going pretty well in that respect. I've done a little bit of analysis before we came on live and really just had a look at the volume of traffic that the site's currently getting. And it looks like things are pretty good at the moment. We can see here that the site's currently getting an estimated just under 50,000 organic visits per month. And I'm sure there are lots of people on the live stream that would love to be getting that volume of traffic into their website on a monthly basis. And reassuringly, we can also see that things have been on a steady upward trend as well, which is always good to see, because sometimes when we're doing reviews, when we're looking at client websites, you can look at this first headline number and it can look like things are really good because it's a big number. But then when you look at what's actually gone on, we see that it might be half or a third of the traffic that they were getting a year ago, or we see that everything's flatlined. Whereas this is looking good. Things are heading in the right direction. Clearly, the site is set up in an effective way. We can see that over the last year, the traffic has pretty much doubled. And is there anything that you wanted to explore more deeply in respect of the SEO and organic traffic side of things, Dale?
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what kind of keyword phrases or search queries this website is appearing for, because with the brand strength that the business has, obviously we can build that further. We want to make sure that there's not a complete reliance on brand search.
Absolutely.
Brand search. We want to appear for these big terms like steak knife. So let's have a look how things are going there.
Have a look at the top ranking keywords. So we've got some brand related keywords for sure. But it looks like they're all the as we'd expect, I guess, to an extent, the lower volume search terms. Let me just log back in because it's decided to log me out for some reason.
Okay, let's wait for you to get that sorted. But if you'd like to try that tool, so that tool that Wayne's using there is called SE Ranking. It's the core SEO tool that we use for all of our competitor research, as well as our client campaigns, our competitor research, if I haven't said that already, backlink analysis, stuff like that. It's a free tool. It's a paid tool, but you can try it for free by going to bestninjatool.com. And I've just dropped the link in the comments. So wherever you're watching, doesn't matter where you are, you can try it out for free for 28 days, I believe. Just
perfect.
Give it a
and we've got the full data back on the screen now, Dale, so we can dive into it. So yeah, it looks like we've got some brand keywords for sure. A lot of the high ranking keywords that we're seeing here are those brand keywords. But in fairness, as we scroll past those, we've also got visibility and good visibility for more general and commercial keyword terms. You can see that we're in position 1 for steak knife, which is a pretty decent keyword if you're specializing in cutlery. And the same with steak knives. I would say that those are pretty decent to have there. Stainless steel steak knives. So I think that there is a bit of a mix. I think in terms of the keywords that you've got in the very top positions, in position 1, I think there is probably a lot of reliance on those brand heavy keywords. But it does look, in fairness, like you've got a good amount of other keywords showing there as well.
Yeah, so where I would like to see a bit more dominance when it comes to first positions is in non-branded search. So you've got a couple of the core terms I would want to be ranking for, but I'd also be ranking for some of the other product categories that they sell, like bathroom fittings, candlesticks, homeware, bowls, lighting. There's a lot of stuff that Robert Welsh actually sell on the website. But perhaps we could talk a little bit about the long tail keywords that this business could be using to not just generate traffic, but to generate sales as well.
No, absolutely. I think something that can work really well for this kind of business where you're very clearly specializing in a particular area, i.e. specializing in dining, kitchen, cutlery, all of this side of things, building out knowledge bases, building out blog articles, blog posts that are relating to frequently asked questions that are all to do with cookery, with dining, with kitchenware, things like that could work really well. So, for example, having a knowledge base which is all about cutlery etiquette or dinner party etiquette that is showing how you lay up a table correctly for a dinner party, what formal cutlery layups would look like. Things like that can work really well as frequently asked questions around what kind of knife should I use to cut X, Y, and Z. So that you've got a kind of approach that is focusing on people that are interested in buying higher end knives when it comes to prepping food, because clearly that's something that you're selling, as well as the dinner party style cutlery as well. What kind of approach do you think could also work quite well there, Dale?
Well, as somebody who's just spent like 50 quid on a saute pan this past week, I would want to be looking at that kind of stuff, like which saute pans the top 10 saute pans, 50 best, saute pans in the UK, all the kind of stuff that I was doing, that informational search that I was doing prior to making a purchase. Like, do I need a saute pan or a frying pan? Do I need should I use a particular material? Does it need to be cast aluminium? Yeah. Or there's a lot of questions that people do prior to searching for steak knives, or stuff like that, such as even things like do X company offer a lifetime guarantee? People are doing the decision. They've gone through like the top 10 content. They've researched which is the best material. Right. Okay. I'm going to get this material. So I looked at the 10 best saute pans in aluminium. Right. I'm going to go for either one of these three. Of these three companies, which one offers a lifetime guarantee? Which one has the best reviews? All those questions every single customer is going through, and they're going to look for that content somewhere on the web. And the best place for them to find it is on your website, because once they're on there, you get an opportunity to catch them within your net, I suppose you can say, and then convert them either straight away by directing them to the product they can purchase on the website, or by capturing them through the newsletter or VIP club, as Wayne has pointed out, right. And then hit them with the email marketing, hit them with remarketing through PPC, and convert them at a later stage when they're close to making that sale.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that's a super good idea. I think a lot of e-commerce businesses can sometimes underestimate the value of building out a blog, building out a knowledge base, and do tend to put a lot of focus on the product pages, on the category pages, which kind of makes sense at a surface level. But then I think when you get to a certain size, like Robert Welch clearly are, with the kind of volume of traffic you're already getting, you then want to be looking at more creative ways to get more traffic through to the site, because ultimately there's only so much traffic that you're going to be able to get if you're just focusing on those category pages and product pages.
Absolutely. Yeah. Got to look at the whole kind of marketing spectrum and think like, how can we use every marketing channel at our disposal and interlace them so that, if we are getting people through to the website, we're remarketing to them heavily to keep our brand front of mind, stuff like that.
Yeah.
John in the comments has asked, are best 10 items blog posts a risky strategy? What do you think, Wayne? Are they risky?
I wouldn't say it's a risky strategy, as long as it's within the context of other good quality content there. Like, you don't want to fill an entire blog just with best 10 product style articles if it's all just about getting exposure to the product pages. But if you've got 10, 20, 30 articles within a blog, and one of those is best 10 X, Y, and Z, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think, like any keyword research you're doing, any blog article that you're researching, you want to be checking what kind of competition you're up against. So you've got a clear idea of, is it going to be a keyword that's going to be reasonably easy for you to rank for, or is it going to take you ages and ages? But intrinsically, there certainly isn't anything wrong with that, I don't think.
One thing I would like to see on this website is they're surveying the visitors that they're getting. So I see there's a live chat there. I'll get to that in just a second. But one thing I would do would be asking people, after maybe they spend 60 seconds on a page, or 2 or 3 minutes on the website as a whole, start asking them, is there something you're not sure about? And then you can get that information from them and turn that into page improvements, right? So they've asked me in the live chat, they've asked me about lifetime guarantee, or returns policy, or which country are your products made in, things like that, which people truly care about. You can then take that information from your live chat and add it to your pages to improve them.
And it looks like you're using Hotjar on the site already, and that's also a great addition. For anyone that's not familiar with Hotjar, that can basically allow you to record your website visitors on the site, so that you can actually see what they're doing on the website pages when they're landing on you. And that's, really, really valuable. So good to see that you've got that installed.
John, again, in the comments, is saying that the risky strategy with best 10 items is that they give exposure to the competition. Now, that depends on your brand, your company, how you feel about it. But, I see a lot of, in the software space, a lot of companies will do that, where they'll say, here is the top 10 software options as a CRM, a customer relationship management software. They'll add their business at the top or the bottom and say, these are the 10 in our space, and you can choose them, or you could choose us. It's up to you. We want to make sure that you have the information available to you, and it's your choice at the end of the day.
And also remember, when you're writing that kind of article, it's your list. Like, you're in control of where you appear on that list, as long as you can justify why you're appearing there. So clearly you don't want to be doing a top 10 list if you're going to put yourself at the bottom. That would be a terrible idea. But if you're putting yourself at the top and that's well justified, then what's the problem in showing people the other options? Because if you're the best option, ultimately they're most likely to still choose you anyway. And contrasting yourself against competitors can actually be a really good idea, because if you know that you're doing lots that your competitors aren't, it's just a way of showing all of the gaps in the service that they're delivering compared to the product or service you're delivering. So it's only high risk if you're going to rank yourself low within that ranking. And if it's your own article, of course, you're never going to do that. You're going to justify why you're right at the top. Yeah,
it's also a high risk if your product isn't as good as theirs, or if your USPs aren't as good as theirs. If you can't put yourself above above their products, then you've got a problem. That is a risk.
If you legitimately feel that out of your 9 competitors, you're at the bottom of that list, don't do a top 10 article. Like, that would be a terrible idea. But if you feel that you're at the top of that list, shout about it. There's no risk there.
Yeah. Jen's just followed that up with, it's too easy to be biased. Good. That's a good thing. You're supposed to be biased. It's your business.
You're allowed to be biased.
Absolutely. It's up to the reader to determine whether they believe it or not, or whether, the decision is that they'll choose your products. The good thing and the honest thing, the trustworthy thing to do is to put all of the information out there available for people to make the decision, not for you. I would have no qualms putting top 10 content on this website. I understand that there may feel like there's a risk, but it depends heavily on how strong you feel your brand is, how strong you feel your products are as well. And if you want some examples of content where they do this well, I would search for HubSpot alternative or Drift alternative. Basically look for alternatives to big software companies, because a lot of their competitors do pages dedicated to head to heads. So HubSpot against an alternative, and they'll point out exactly why you should choose their company rather than HubSpot, and they have no problems. If you can't cheerleader for your own company, then there's something in that company that needs to be worked on first before your marketing.
Yeah, completely. Cool. Shall we move on to the next website?
Yeah. We're 25 minutes in, so maybe we should.
Awesome. So the next site that we've been sent, this is loomland.com. Now, the owner of this website, are you on the live feed? I'm hoping you are.
I hope so. I think they're in the US, though. It's going to be... Well, whilst we wait for them to reply and see if they are in the chat, let's get the chat. Let's tell us is there anything about this website that you like, you don't like? First impressions. Do you like this website? Give us a yes. Oh, I think we have. It says the name is customer service, Wayne, in the chat, but it looks from their logo that it's from this company. So yes, it looks like brilliant. They're here.
Good news. Cool. And have we got? I've not got, unfortunately, the chat open. Have we got any feedback so far, Dale, from what people are saying?
I got a couple of yeses that people like what they see. I'm really curious what people don't like. That's really important. You've got to know what people who don't see your website every day, what they don't like.
And just to let everyone know as well, this website is not normally in English. So some of the copy that you're seeing here may not make complete sense. What we've done so that we could review the site is we've used Google's Translate to translate it into an English website.
Is that right? I didn't realize that.
I think so. Or maybe it was another site.
I think it's another site. I think
it's the next site. Sorry, I'm just full of rubbish today, Dale. The owner of the website thinking, what have you done? When did you change your website into a foreign language? The only one to review it. So no, ignore
Some of these are really catching my eye. I like some of those products. They look pretty cool.
They do look really nice. I think that there's definitely some bits and pieces that could be done to really tidy up what we're seeing here, though, when we first land on the site. I think, first of all, it's never a great idea to have your navigational bar, your menu, across two lines. I think that can make things feel quite untidy and quite crowded, even when they're not necessarily that crowded. So I would look at ways that you could actually condense this into just one navigational bar with drop downs and sub options, rather than having this split across two lines. I think it's great that you've got your contact details on display, along with your free shipping and no contact delivery USP being highlighted, and your social media icons. That's really good. But unfortunately, as we start scrolling down, we can see that we lose that benefits bar. It's not integrated into the sticky menu that we're then seeing. So I would advise that actually it would be a really good idea to integrate that top bar into the sticky header. And we do this on the Exposure Ninja website. In fact, if you look at what we do here, as we scroll down, it's not just the navigational bar and the logo that remains in place. We've got this top bar above it with our contact details that remains visible as well. So this kind of approach can work really well, and is something that I would suggest you do when you've put the work in to actually have your contact details on display, have your social media icons on display. You may as well keep it visible as part of that sticky menu.
I'm just covering the screen at the moment with a comment from Brianna. Hi, Brianna. It's lovely to have you on the stream. They said how much they liked the gift card pop-up, and they're talking about, I'm covering it now so people will be able to see it. So I'm going to remove that comment, and people will be able to see the gift card offer at the bottom there, which is really smart. It's always there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think having any kind of enticing way to draw people in, to get people to join your email list is a really good idea. And I think having the bar across the bottom, that's arguably a little bit less invasive than having a big pop-up that covers the whole screen. So yeah, really good idea, a really great way to kind of get people hooked in. I do think you'd benefit from having some more content, some more copy over this slider image here. Because at the moment, when I'm first landing on your site, I've got that you do free shipping, I've got that you do no contact delivery, but I've actually got no kind of clear idea instantly in terms of what you specialize in and what I'm going to find here. Now, I can, of course, kind of deduct what it is that you've got, deduce what it is that you've got from looking through your menu, but really you want a really engaging headline that says, here's what we do, here's why we're amazing, click to explore further. That definitely would be better than just having the image here. Would you agree, Dale?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you see adverts in the street, when you're on a tube, you don't see adverts which are just an image that don't tell you much else. There's always something, there's always like some copy that entices you to think more or do more, take action. So I completely agree with you. This is your first opportunity to advertise why your company is the one you should stay on. So you got to think that business, people that are searching the web, if they've come through Google search, for example, they've searched for a furniture company or something along those lines, they might open 2 or 3 pages. If the first one that they open looks like this, they might think, oh, I'm not really sure what is on offer here. Is this an e-commerce store? Is it a brochure? What is it? They might just go straight back to another website that looks like the kind of e-commerce experience that they're used to seeing on other websites.
And the other reason they might be inclined to do that is at the moment, your shopping cart icon is actually quite well hidden. And when we start scrolling down with your sticky menu that you've got integrated, we've got it showing a little bit more there. But when people first land here, it's not immediately obvious, actually, that this is an e-commerce site, because we're not really seeing that shopping cart icon nice and clearly. And we're not seeing any kind of add to cart, buy now button, or explore more button visible when the site first loads. So these are definitely things that are worth exploring. And the same here. You've got these amazing products being showcased. And as Dale says, I think these products look amazing. I think the aesthetics of them is really great. But there's no kind of visible add to cart button, no kind of visible find out more button. We've literally just got a price here. There's no other buttons to click on. And it's not really guiding your user through the website in the most effective way. And sure, a lot of people are going to click on the images once they hover over them, but we don't want to leave that to chance. You really need to have those clear buttons, which either say buy now, add to cart, more information, things that make it very clear that they can buy these products. And this isn't just a site providing information about the products. That's really important.
Yeah, I also think it needs to be spaced out a little bit. I feel like a little bit overwhelmed with choice. So anybody who's watched the live website reviews will know that I talk a lot about not aspect ratio, that's something else completely, but attention ratio. So it's basically when you look at stuff, if you've got too many options, you don't know which one to take. So you want to narrow down the field and give people only 1 or 2 or 3 things to look at. If they want to look at more, they will. They'll go through to the category pages and you can give them a button that takes them through to that. But you initially just want to show them just a couple of things, your best products, to get them clicking through and looking at the rest of your range.
No, I would agree. And I would even say, like, a lot of these products I would describe as kind of mid to high end in terms of the price points. Like, this isn't cheap IKEA furniture. This is furniture that people are investing a chunk of money in. And because of that, you really want to make sure, first of all, they're understanding the value they're getting. And at the moment, I don't necessarily think that's being showcased. I think because, as Dale said, there are so many products being shown here, it almost seems like I'm walking into a warehouse of random products rather than being shown a really well-collated collection of products that I'm likely to be interested in. But secondly, I think you could do with a greater level. I of course, don't know the level of resource you've got to be able to provide this, but a greater level of personalized service that you could be offering people here. Like, intrinsically, when I'm looking at furniture where people are looking at spending 1,800, 2,000 and upwards of those figures, I think that you should be offering a free callback service, having people submit their details and request a callback to discuss their needs. I think that this here should be more of a live chat rather than a Facebook. application. The problem with it being a Facebook application is there are too many steps that people need to take before they can even use it. And a lot of people don't want to give what they perceive as you permission to dive into their Facebook profile and have access to all of their data just to be able to speak with you. And I know you've got the continuous guest option here, but it's just suboptimal. It would be much better to actually have a live chat feature that people can just immediately engage with. And the benefit you've got with live chat, if you're looking at a platform like Talk.to, for instance, is you can set up automated triggers, automated greetings. You can really give people a personalized experience. And I think that's something that would be well worth exploring, because I think you could get a lot of value from that. And I would imagine the kind of target market that you're after here probably are going to have questions about the products. I don't think this is going to be something where people will come to the site, see the product, and then immediately shell out $4,999 on it. I think it's the type of product where people are going to be thinking about the products and wanting to get their questions answered before they take that dive. What do you think regards to that, Dale?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to get these people who are your potential customers into a conversation with you. Perhaps people, you're in the chat now. If you could tell us that, are people paying and purchasing something directly through the website immediately, or are they getting in contact with you and speaking with you and then eventually converting it, in a sales process? The one thing that they wanted us to actually look at, Wayne, was how to increase their traffic, because there's traffic that they could use more of. Getting ideas for this website?
Let's have a look first of all and see. I mean, the obvious choice if you need to increase traffic quickly is going to be paid ads. And my feeling would be paid ads based on the kind of price of the products you're selling here would probably be a good option. I'm hoping or guessing that the margins on your product are going to be reasonably comfortable. And if you've got reasonably good margins on your products, then I would say running paid ad campaigns would be a really sensible first step. So if we go, for instance, to Google and type in buy steampunk furniture, you'll see we get these Google shopping ads from different companies promoting exactly what we're looking for, because clearly that's a niche, that's a type of furniture that you specialize in and that people are interested in. And running Google shopping ads like this could give you a really effective way of getting more traffic to your product pages, but doing that really quickly. Like SEO and content marketing is a great way of growing the brand over the long term. Over a 6 to 12 month period, you can really transform things and get a lot more traffic through. But if you need traffic now, focusing on SEO and content marketing isn't going to give you that immediate flow of traffic. Whereas running Google ads like this, that can give you exposure to your entire product catalog in a pretty efficient way, as long as your site is converting well. Because a lot of the time, people that we speak to will say that they're really keen to increase the traffic because they feel that traffic is what they're lacking. But if your website's only converting, for example, at 0.5% or 1%, you need to be looking at increasing your conversion rate before you look at increasing the traffic, because otherwise it's going to be really difficult for you to actually get to a stage where you're getting a good ROI from the traffic that you're driving. So yeah, do break it down into those kind of two different sides. Look at your conversion rate first. Is the conversion rate acceptable, so that if you were to drive 100 visitors to a particular product page, you know that you'd get 2 or 3 sales from it? Or do you need to work on that first before you then switch on the traffic channel, which is then going to help you get that traffic? What insight would you have to add there, Dale?
I would just kind of just back up what you're saying there and just say that it's really important that the website is optimized for conversions first before you start throwing traffic at it. I mean, you can start with PPC to get those initial sales that will help you, cover the cost of marketing, or just kind of keep revenue going whilst you build up those longer gestation period traffic channels like SEO. I'm just looking at the website in one of our SEO tools again. This time looking at SEMrush, and which is a great tool. I'd recommend that if anyone feels like using SEMrush, you can do so by going to thankyouninjas.com. It's a really, really decent tool. It looks like that they've lost quite a bit of their organic traffic in the last in the last 6 months. Looks like from April onwards, they've lost some of their organic traffic.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. So it looks like organic is definitely an area where they need to invest in. And as you say, it's not going to be initially really, a fast earner of traffic. So definitely push with PPC in the immediate term. I'm trying to very quickly try to determine why that might be. And just
because interestingly, Dale, it looks like they've got a pretty solid. I'm just looking using Moz at their backlink profile, and it looks like they've got a pretty solid domain authority of 52 out of 100, and the volume of traffic they're getting versus the domain authority doesn't quite add up to me. So I'm wondering if there's been some kind of penalization, perhaps, that's led to that.
Yeah, it could be. Let's see if I can just
because certainly I'd expect a website. Now, to be clear for everyone listening on the live stream, domain authority isn't a metric that Google assigns. So we need to be clear about that. It's just an indicator as to whether we would expect the website to be ranking well and well trusted by Google. But I would say there's a definite mismatch here in the domain authority and the very low volume of traffic that you're currently getting.
Yeah. So I'm just going to swap over to my screen and I'll take a look, see if there's anything that stands out to me. So, right, I've swapped over. So I'm looking at their website. There's a couple of tools that you can use to just check if a website is basically going to be stopped from being crawled, stopping from being indexed. This is one of them. It's called Link Redirect Trace, which basically looks at redirects and then will just tell you a little bit about the page. And a few of these things tell you if the website's been stopped from being it's blocking Google from crawling it and things like that. So it looks like it's been, it's not really blocking anything. It looks like everything is fine from this side of things. But according to this tool, there's a lot of backlinks, but no authority to them. So there's maybe a couple of things we can check. So like we might want to check So normally when there are big drops like that, where we've seen with their organic, there tends to be way more than I could probably find out in just 5 minutes on a stream. So I would normally spend a couple of hours. And if you're a client of ours, we'd spend quite a long time looking through your website to see why you might have had a ranking drop like that. There are regular algorithm updates that happen. Google have done 2 big updates in just the last 6 weeks alone. It could be that's the cause. But just very quickly, I mean, it looks like you're working with Shopify. As far as I know, there shouldn't be any problems with the robots.txt file there because they've only just recently made it editable. I'm really curious why the website might have dropped. So let's just have a look and see what kind of positions have dropped for them. Position changes. Again, if you want to try SEMrush, you can do so by going to thankyouninjas.com, and you can try it for free for 30 days. Let's have a look. It's a little bit slow, this one. So June, let's try 6 months and see when we've had some big drops. So let's have a look at May. And you can see the kind of keywords that have been lost. So John in the comments is asking, is there any difference if the base URL is www or not? It shouldn't do, but it can do. So basically, if it's there or not is dependent on how you build your website. But if done incorrectly, it could lead to Google thinking there's a duplicate of your website. So you might find that there's one version on www that what people can visit, and there's another one without the www that people can visit as well. Google can visit that, crawl it, and they think there's a duplicate of the website. It's not uncommon. Sometimes like Google is much smarter, like figuring out which is the real one or not. But that could be a cause, and unfortunately, it'd take longer than I have right now to look at it. But we've lost ranking for slim console design, table, rope dining chairs. Let's have a look at some of these pages and see why that might be. Conscious of the fact that we only got 15 minutes left. Anything wrong with this particular page? Doesn't really look like it. It might just be that there's no content here. There's no like copy. There's no text. There's no reason for Google to determine that this is a page worth ranking. And also, it looks like maybe the page was removed because this is page 1 of 6 and looks more like a category page, and this is a complication of Shopify. Like Shopify is actually quite a fiddly e-commerce tool to use. So I think there's a lot going on with this website in terms of SEO that needs to be investigated by an SEO consultant.
Yeah,
so
I would agree.
I think we'll have to just pause it for now. But definitely, if you haven't requested a website review already, I would just go to exposureninja.com/review, and our team can have an initial look and see if there's anything on the surface that they can point out in more time than unfortunately I have right this second. But the only last thing I can think of is HTTP status. As John has asked about with that www dot or not, what's the website? Loomland. Let's try that. Basically, going to take that domain, put it in here, then do it without the S, without the www dot. And what you should hope to see is that the website, all those different URLs, they redirect. So we'll check the status. Something went wrong. Please don't be broken today. That'd be really unfortunate.
Right.
Right, I can do it very quickly this way. Right, so redirect and then look at this. 307, 301. So it's kind of tricky to say. There's a couple of redirects in there. Let's have a look at this one. It could just be the wrong kind of redirects in place. SEO is so complicated, and it's really hard for me to say in like a 5-minute period of time. So definitely request an Exposure Ninja free marketing and website reviews by going to exposureninja.com/review. I'm going to swap my screen back over to your good self, Wayne. And then maybe we'll look at the next website. Unless there's anything else.
Absolutely, let's do that. So we've done a couple of e-commerce sites. This next review is for sjlewis.com, which looks to be a coaching and energy practitioner website. So this is going to be interesting to dive into because clearly the kind of approach that is going to work for this website is very different to the approach we've talked about for e-commerce websites. Now, looking at how the site is when it first loads, I would say that the imagery is good imagery. I think it's great that you've got this functional logo in the top left and you've got an easy to use navigational bar. But here's the thing, it's not making it really clear to me what you actually do. Like, this is a little bit ambiguous. Are you ready to experience more freedom in your life? Like, yes, but what does that mean? Like, I don't know. And when we go a bit further down, it's clear that you've got a really specific audience in mind, because it says here you're a holistic energy practitioner and you help divorced women who want to move forward in their life. But that isn't what's being communicated with this headline here. So I think you need to be much more direct with your sales copy. And when people land on your site, you need to let them know immediately through the text that you're showing here who your target audience is and what you're doing for them. Whereas at the moment, this could mean anything. It could be for any audience, and it doesn't let me know what you're doing, how you're going to help me, or indeed what the next step needs to be. For a lead generation website like this, you really need to do a few different things. When someone first lands on the site, you need to let them know what you do. You need to let them know why you're amazing at what you do, and you need to let them know what they need to do next in order to learn more. And at the moment, you're not really doing any of those three things when people first land on your site. An easy fix to this, let's see if anyone in the chat knows the easy fix. If you've been watching our reviews on a Friday a lot, you'll know that there are some things that we recommend over and over again. So for a lead generation site, what would be something that we would want to see in this empty space here? Does anyone have any ideas?
Whilst we wait for this to come through, if you haven't already, make sure you use hashtag Ninja in the comments to get to enter a prize draw to win a copy of How to Get to Top of Google, which I'll post out in the next few days. And also, if you learn anything today, make sure you do hit like down below, whether you're watching us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. We're pretty much everywhere nowadays. Somebody came in with your response with Wayne, CTA.
Yes, absolutely right. We want a call to action. And more specifically for this particular kind of website, we don't just want a call to action. We want that call to action to be a visible lead generation form. So let's show you an example. Here's a website that we built for a client of ours. It converts really, really well. And the reason it converts so well is because we've got this clear headline letting people know what it's all about with a bit of supplementary text. We've also got contact details in the header space so people can get hold of the business. But most importantly, we've got this really clear call to action form, letting people know exactly what they need to do next to find out more and exactly what is going to happen beyond that. So you can see here, it's not just a generic contact form. It says, fill in your details below and we'll be in touch to arrange a no obligation consultation. So it makes it really obvious to people what they need to do and what they're going to get. So that's definitely something that you should be doing with your site to really make sure that you're getting the most from it, Sarah Jane. You really want to make sure that you're highlighting what that next step is, and that needs to be done as quickly as possible when people land on your site. And that needs to be supplemented with the change in copy that you've got at the moment to make it obvious what solution it is you're providing.
Somebody, Brianna in the comments with another great suggestion has suggested, maybe add a free consultation form. That matches what you're saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what's needed here for sure. And something that I think could work really well for you as well, because of the type of business you are, is having a live callback widget on the site. We use on a lot of our client websites this widget here provided by Live Call. And basically it allows people to enter in their phone number and request a callback. But the really powerful thing is you don't need to monitor any of this, because once they enter in their phone number and press the button, the platform itself takes care of it for you. So you will then get, Sarah Jane, a call to a phone number of your choice. It will come through as an inbound call, and you'll be told that it's a callback request, and then they'll connect you to the person that's requested the callback. So the experience from a website visitor point of view is that you've called them back within like less than a minute, which is really powerful. But from your point of view, it's just increasing the number of inbound leads you're getting, the number of inbound telephone inquiries you're getting. So that could be something that would work really well also. Anything else that you'd like to add around that, Dale?
Yeah, I absolutely love that tool. I love the perception that it gives you, that you're so on the ball that you want to help people out immediately, that you're calling people back in less than a minute, or roughly that kind of period of time. One other alternative you can do is lead with, I think further down there was a quote from someone that said, it changed my life or something. Not this one, I think it's the next one. Next one. I've completely transformed my life and now live happier than ever before. If I was loading on a website and that's the first comment that I saw, a quote that said that, alongside the person who said it, a nice smiley beaming face that said, this is how I feel, with a button immediately underneath that says book a free consultation, I'd be won over. That's the feeling that I want to get when I load the website. That hopefully that I've come through an advert or a search query to this website, that I know what I'm looking for. If the first thing I see is I feel transformed by this, I'm gonna be like, I want to be transformed to, how do I get it? Book a free consultation call. Perfect. That's what completely. That's another great way of doing it.
And I think these logos, you want to make sure these are way more prominent than they are at the moment. I mean, right now, I didn't even realize that you had these logos here, because they're pretty much at the very bottom of your website. And really, you want people to be seeing these social proof logos as soon as they start scrolling down. Ideally, you want a logo slider directly underneath your slider image here, so that that's the first thing they see before they then move into more content, because that can be really powerful. And with regard to testimonials, this is a problem. At the moment, you've got a testimonials link, but when we click on it, it doesn't go anywhere. It just refreshes the homepage. And that's going to cause people to be concerned. Like when people are thinking about who do they trust, ultimately with the service you're offering, who do they trust with their life? Like they're looking for someone to help them move on to the next chapter of their life and really to support them through that. And they're going to be looking for testimonials that prove that you know what you're doing, that you're trusted in this field, that you've done what you're saying you do before. If you've got the testimonials button here, that needs to be linked to actual testimonials, because that's going to be an immediate turn off for people. That will make people think, hang on, I don't feel so good about this anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One other thing I would add for this is that at the very bottom of the page, we've got a CTA of I've got free stuff to give you.
Yes.
Show me what it looks like. Make that more prominent. Make that your call to action. If people load onto the page and they say, here's a free book on the 5 things you can do today to make a significant change to your life, that'd be a good way of getting people's contact details very quickly.
It really would. And I think also cutting back on the information that you're asking for, like if you ask for first name, last name, email address, you're going to get a way lower conversion rate than if you just ask for first name, email address. And then you can even cut it back even further. If you just ask for email address, you can get an even higher conversion rate. But I would say that for what you're doing, you probably don't need people's last name at this stage. So just ask for name and email address. And if you do need to get someone's more extended details, you can do that further down the line when they book a consultation call with you. But just to download your freebie, make sure that you're just asking for first name and email, or even just email, so that you've got that first step to getting people onto your list in the most effective way possible.
It also feels more personable when it comes across like, oh, hi Dale, not hi Dale Davies. How can I give you this thing? You know, if the first email says hi Dale Davies, I know it's automated. It feels less personable.
Because people are a bit suspicious now as well, aren't they? People don't want to give a whole load of personal information to people that they've never spoken to before. Ultimately, letting someone know your first name, that's okay. That doesn't feel risky. It doesn't feel like there's any kind of malice intent that could be behind that. But letting someone know your first name and your last name, and I always say the same. I don't know if we've got anyone on here that runs an e-commerce business where they try and capture people's birthdays to try and get people onto like a birthday club style thing where they send you a promotion on your birthday. Like it always looks really shady. Like to someone landing on the site, you're asking someone for their first name, their last name, their email address, and their birthday. Like that's not the kind of information people are going to readily give. Maybe once they've been a customer and they trust you and they've bought from you. But these are things to consider. How are they going to be looking at you, and what's their relationship with you when they first land on your website? And are they going to be trusting you enough to give you the information you're asking for, or do you need to scale back the information you're asking for so that you get a higher conversion rate?
Yeah, and also, I mean, there's a couple of things like the more form fields you have in a form, the lower the conversion rates. So always pull it back. You know, the same for checkouts and e-commerces. Like sometimes you can really pull them back and get that information later on. The same with a lead gen site. You can just take an email address to begin with and get that follow-up information later on in your follow-up email. You can say, oh, here's something else I want to give to you. I just need more details about you, or something along those lines. Or you can do something called a two-step CTA, a two-step call to action, where you can just get the first name and then in the next page take the second name and then the email address. If you go, like some of our clients use that same method of they just take the address of the house somebody's trying to sell, for example. Then the next page will be tell us a bit more about the house so we can give you the valuation of your property. So you just don't overwhelm people, just have them do something really simple.
You've got plenty of time, haven't you, to build a relationship with these people and to collect further information in the future. As long as you've got a way of contacting them to begin with, if we boil it down to its bare essentials, that's all you need, a way of contacting them. And then you extend on that. Like if someone's wanting to book a call with you, you're then justified in asking for more information, because at that point you need their phone number because you're going to be calling them. You need their name because you're going to be speaking to them. Like that's the point at which you need that information. Whereas at the very front end, just to download a free guide, arguably you don't need the other information you're asking for. So just stick to the bare minimum and then work at building a relationship out as you move forward. So have we got time for the last website that we want to dive into?
We've got a couple of minutes left. Excellent. So we've got like 3 minutes on the clock, Wayne. I've got as long as you have.
It's cool. I think we're okay to overrun by 5 minutes or so. That's okay.
Yeah, okay, great. So we've got another website. It's another e-commerce site. So this website is Portuguese, so we might have to just swap over the language.
So this but just is the one that I
general
think
feel. Yeah, that's the one. Right, so this is now in English for us. But yeah, I'd love to know in the comments, what's your first impression? Do you like what you see? Do you not? What would you change? Let's get some feedback.
And this is the homepage of the website, just to be clear.
Yeah, this is the first thing that you see when you load up the website. And whilst we wait for those comments to come in, do hit like if you beneath this video, whether you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. It helps to get this video in front of more business owners and marketing managers like yourself, which really helps us too. And that's what we want to do, is help more and more people too. And if you're new here, hit subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. And if you already do subscribe to us, why not just share this video once it's finished? Because when we finish this live stream, it'll be a replay. Just share it. That'd be great. Share it with one person. That'd be super cool. Nothing really coming from the live chat. So Wayne, what would you like?
So my immediate reaction when I first land on this website, it looks really, really sparse to me. it doesn't look like a homepage. It looks like I've landed on an internal page. And I think that what's doing that, let me just make sure that we are looking at everything in English. What's doing that is the fact that there's not really anything to welcome me into the business. Like I always like to say that the homepage of your website is like the gateway into your business. It's your chance to welcome people in, let them know about your business, let them know that they've landed in the right place, and then signpost them to where they need to go next. You don't want to immediately start signposting people where to go next before they know anything about you, before they know what you actually do. So I think what's lacking here is, first of all, a slider that's got some clear headline text that actually says, here's what we do, this is what we specialize in. There's then no introductory text at the moment that gives me a bit of background to the brand, that lets me know how long you've been about, how you work, like what kind of service you're offering. And being honest, and I don't think this is down to the fact that the site isn't in English, just from what we're looking at here, I don't actually know what you do. Like, I'm guessing that you provide stuff related to either movement or people with disabilities or struggles with mobility, but I don't really know what you do. Like, I have to dig around and look at this. Like, there's a lot of different categories here without me having any context as to what you're doing and what your core focus is.
Yeah, just to kind of to echo that, when I worked in retail, one of the first kind of lessons they taught me was that 80% of your sales came from the first 20% of the store. So like as soon as you walk into the store, that's where the majority of your sales came from. So like the first impressions or the first things that people see are the majority of what people buy. So if your first impression of this website, when you come onto here, this homepage, isn't good enough, isn't promoting the right products, isn't giving you, hey, this is who we are, this is what we do, and this is why we specifically can help you with your problems. People aren't going to stick around, let alone get through to the product pages that you want people to actually add to the cart or add to the basket.
I mean, it looks like one of the products you sell is, I'm guessing these are orthopedic shoes based on the kind of focus. So let's just quickly go to buy orthopedic shoes, and let's have a look at a website that's potentially a not a competitor, because you're clearly in a different country, but certainly, here we go, look.
This looks like an e-commerce
on this site. It does, yeah, absolutely. We've got a functional logo, we've got contact details, we've got a really clear banner letting people know one of their product ranges. In this instance, we've got a nice benefits bar, and then as we scroll further down, we've obviously got some specific products, but most importantly, within the homepage, we've got this overview of what products are being offered, what is their expertise, what's the background to the brand. And this is what we expect to find on a homepage, because it's all about educating people so they know whether they've landed in the right place. So I think this gives you an idea of the kind of layout people might be expecting when they land on your site. And if we contrast that with the experience they're having, it's just not, I think, what people are going to be expecting. So yeah, I think there's lots of room for improvement here with user experience. And I think I can't even put my finger, if I'm being honest, I can't even put my finger on exactly what it is, because I think it's a combination of lots of things. But I think the website feels quite outdated. It feels quite old-fashioned in the way it's being put together.
It does kind of feel like a website from a few years ago. I can appreciate that. In some ways, this homepage is similar to the other one, where it's, here's a couple of categories you can go to. Here are a few of our products. Like we've got our most recent section. It just needs tidying up. It needs to have a bit of, from like sales copy. It needs to just sell it a bit more than it is currently.
I think that
I'd be interested to see how actual like product pages look as well, Wayne. If we
let's have a look. In fact, let's go through to a category page and then onto a product page. So the category page, what have we got here? So we've got a heading on the category page that pushes everything quite far down. I'm
not really sure what's going on with those words above the category page. That kind of looks very similar to what we call keyword stuffing, which is like an old school tactic where you used to just put as many related keywords in as possible into a page and hope that it would rank. That's going to not be doing good things for you, even possibly the reverse. So from like an SEO point of view, you need to replace that copy like immediately.
So the product page above the fold doesn't look terrible. We've got the image on the left with a few different images, which is okay. We've got the add to cart button above the fold, along with the price above the fold, which is good to see. But it all gets a little bit weird as we scroll a bit further down.
Yeah.
I think this is quite... Go on, Dale.
Sorry, man. I hate to talk over you. I know you can't see me,
no,
so you can't see me when I draw breath. But yeah, it kind of looks like when you transfer a website from one e-commerce store to another, like system to another. So you've transferred it from Shopify onto WordPress or something like that, and everything is just generic and hasn't been played around with by a developer. Like it hasn't had the finishing touches done. It looks like somebody's just dropped a database into the website, and it's missing that fine tuning. It's missing the sales.
Because there actually isn't any product description here. All we've got is logos for features, and it's the something that's kind of an old saying within sales is you need to focus on benefits, not features. And at the moment, you're literally focusing on features. Like there's no focus on benefits at all, really, just features. There's no text to kind of draw me in. There's no story behind the product. There's nothing to help me imagine why I'd be buying this product. Like no text to let me feel how comfortable. Like when you're wearing these shoes, it's going to feel like you're walking on air because they're so comfortable, and all of that pain you've suffered with for so many years. These shoes are the perfect solution. And here's a testimonial from someone that's worn the shoes saying how amazing they are. Like you need all of that, because a lot of this stuff people don't care about. Like people really don't care about features. They care about benefits.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just take each of those, right? Just take each of those and turn it into a sentence. So it's adjustable. Therefore, it accommodates, different types of, foot strain or orthopedic issues. Absolutely. And do that for every single one. And
wide opening, which means you can easily and quickly get your feet into the shoe comfortably. Like all of this kind of thing. You need to spell out to people why they should be buying your product, because if you're not spelling out why they should be buying your product, they're going to buy the product from someone that is. People don't want to guess why your product is good. They need you to tell them why it's good.
Like a good example of like really strong, I don't want to say salesmanship, but that kind of thing is if you go to like QVC. So I don't know if that's in every country, but certainly in the UK and in the US, they don't just say, "Oh, this is comfortable, this is adjustable, whatever." They really sell it and they go for it and they explain there's so many benefits and how it's changed their lives or somebody they know. And that's what people are looking for when they're looking for something. They want to be sold to. So your product pages should do exactly that. And I know it can take a long time to do that for every single page. So my recommendation would be look at your top 10 selling products, start with those, improve those pages and see if those improve. If you see an increase in sales from those, then the formula works. You can then apply it to more and more products as you go on. Wayne, we've run out of time. It's now almost 10 past. So I'm going to give away this book of how to get to the top of Google, which is still in the top 10 selling books in Amazon. Would you believe it? And it's now, this is the 2021 edition, but it's been on sale since 2014, I believe. Cool. I'm going to share the screen. If you want an opportunity to win this, you just need to use the hashtag Ninja in wherever you're watching from. In actual fact, if you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere, I've got 11 entries so far. I'll give you 30 seconds to just drop that Ninja into the comments, and then I will hit draw. Wayne, the other day, we almost accidentally picked ourselves because we'd been active in the comments.
Brilliant. That's the ultimate competition.
Cool. We've got a couple of ninjas coming through. 13 entries so far. Give it another 5 or 10 seconds. TikTok.
Goodness me. The intensity. So exciting.
Okay, cool. I'm going to hit draw. So good luck, everyone. I'm going to pick somebody now. I've got a draw again button at the top here, so just in case it does does pick the wrong person. Does pick Explosion Ninja again. All Tech Plus. Fantastic. Cool. All Tech Plus. if you email me, dale@explosionninja.com with your address, I'll get that book dispatched as soon
you even get
as
confetti.
possible.
It's brilliant. What more do you want on a Friday afternoon than confetti?
Yeah. And on that point, thank you everyone for joining. I do appreciate you all coming today. If you want to have your website reviewed, you can go to explosionninja.com/review. And if you're lucky, you have Wayne review your website. If not, tune in 2 weeks from today and we'll do live website reviews once again. So yeah, have a great weekend, everyone.
Have a
Thanks a lot.
Weekend. Take care.
Take care. Bye.